of air, and I wanted to live in that air.
I was going to go to Hollywood and live with my dad and be a movie star.
Anthony didn't become a star of the big screen, but he did appear in a handful of movies and television shows.
I thought maybe you could help me with my homework.
Yeah, you know, like you did with Frankie.
Come on, it's all over school. You have been voted the girl most wanted to do homework with.
He was often cast as a streetwise kid, a role that, thanks to his dad, Anthony was well suited to play.
When I came out to California, my dad was very involved in chasing girls and having different girlfriends, and very open about his sexual existence.
Anthony says his dad was a flamboyant playboy who introduced him to sex and drugs, all at a tender age.
I started dabbling with heroin when I was 14. That's the first time I tried it. And it was kind of by accident, actually. I thought it was cocaine. And it was white, and it was sitting on a table, so I went and did it, and I got high, and I liked it very much. You know, I thought it was a beautiful feeling.
Anthony was far more schooled in the ways of the world than most of his friends at Fairfax High. But for the most part, he was still a typical teen who liked hanging out with his buddy Flea and their mutual friend HILLE'S Slovak.
Hillel and I and Flea, we were actually really a trio. And we just spent a lot of time listening to music together, getting high, you know, talking about life, going to the mountains, going to Yosemite, going on these backpacking trips, just really becoming, you know, lifelong friends.
From day one, James Slovak says his older brother Hillel shared a special chemistry with Flea and Anthony.
All the people that I've seen, nobody is like those three, and they just found each other, and they just, maybe it was fate.
Growing up, Hillel and James shared a bedroom. Money was tight in the Slovak home. But when Hillel was 13, he was given a guitar for his bar mitzvah.
He would play all day long, listen to Jimi Hendrix and Kiss. Those were his two biggest bands. And I would go to sleep around 10 or 10:30, and he would still be playing guitar in the room. And I'd beg him to stop because I need to go to sleep, and he'd play for another 2 hours.
Hillel's incessant guitar playing made a huge impression on Flea.
At the time, I didn't like rock music at all. When I was a kid, I just thought rock music was for idiots. I liked Louis Armstrong, Dizzy Gillespie. I wanted to be a jazz trumpet player. He's the first person who got me to listen to rock music. He said, like, this is Jimi Hendrix, listen to this, and Zeppelin, and, you know, and I was like, wow.
When they were 16, Hillel taught Flea how to play bass, and soon they started a band.
Flea loved playing with Hillel a lot, and they had a supremely magical musical connection that you know, doesn't really happen that often.
Anthony, Flea, and Hillel graduated from high school in 1980, but the friends remained inseparable. The trio knocked around for a few years. Anthony did a short stint at UCLA, while Flea and Hillel continued to pursue music. Then one night in the summer of '83, Anthony, on a whim, joined his friends on stage. The band improvised while Anthony rapped a poem he'd written entitled Out in L.A.
Something very volcanic occurred when we all went up there, and we had no idea what to expect. It was just for the hell of it, and it was so much fun. Something really special happened that night.
We had one song and played for 3 minutes, you know. The club owner said, I want you guys to come back, I want you guys to come back. And we came back and played. And we had like 3 songs this next time. And literally it was like lines around the block right away.
Out of that single impromptu performance, the Red Hot Chili Peppers were unexpectedly born. Accidentally, they had created a whole new genre, a potent mixture of rap, funk, and thrash that launched a revolution in rock. In the summer of 1983, a spontaneous one-off performance at a dive bar on LA's Sunset Strip had given birth to a new and curiously original band.
It was just wild. We were out of control. We were wild. The band was out of control. Everything we did was over the top, and that music was a part of it.
Literally overnight, the newly formed Red Hot Chili Peppers became the darlings of Hollywood's underground club scene. Then in the fall of '83, they pulled a stunt that thrust them into the limelight.
We were playing a place called the Kit Kat Club, which was a strip bar. And I think by this time maybe we had 4 or 5 songs.
They may have been short on songs, but the boys rose to the occasion when the crowd begged for more. For their encore, Anthony, Flea, Hillel, and drummer Jack Irons returned to the stage sporting nothing but tube socks.
And so we were backstage and we were all nervous and excited and, should we do this, should we do this? Yeah, let's just do it, let's just do it.
I saw the first sock deal, the very first one, and it's one of the most amusing things I ever did see in my life.
It felt great to be on stage naked, you know, with this sort of exaggerated phallus, you know, dangling between our legs. And there's always the element of danger because, you know, someone could reach up and grab the sock off. It was a gas.
Word quickly spread of the Red Hot Chili Peppers' outrageous display. Within weeks, they were performing to sold-out crowds at LA's hippest clubs.
When I first saw them play, I'd never seen such freedom on stage. Flea was playing so aggressively that he'd worn a hole in his thumb. He was literally